we are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
More horsepower, less wear, better performance. Introducing new GP1 high-performance driven racing oil, developed specifically for competition, classic, and import vehicle applications.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 5 of the 2021 UK Drift Championship, and you are coming to us live from an absolutely sun-drenched Silverstone. Well, it was just a couple of moments ago until a few clouds blew in. My name is Ian Waddington, and I've been your tour guide for 2021, and I've taken you into the final chapter of this story where we see our pros go head-to-head. Just 24 drivers selected from the top end of competition, allowed or guaranteed a spot to drive here this weekend at Silverstone. We're going to be whittling those guys down now in qualifying down to 16, where this afternoon those guys will go head-to-head into the final to be crowned the winner of tracks and our 2021 UK Drift Championship champion. So, as we stand here and watch just the last few track cars make their way off the circuit, you can see an absolutely jam-packed grandstand in the background. Look, we've been talking about drifting all season. It's time to look at some highlights. Let's take a look at the pro highlights from Teesside. So there we go, that is the tale of the tape from Teesside just a few weeks ago, and our pro competition. As you can see, Matt Denham took first step on the podium, Bagsy came second, and Luke Barker rounded out that podium in third place. Mark is now joining me on the commentary tower, on the balcony here at Silverstone at Brooklyn Suite, and well, what a weekend that was. And I suppose now is the time that we can actually confirm that Luke Barker has taken the championship.
Yep.
We can confirm it now. Luke Barker is the first ever and the 2021 UK Drift champion. Unfortunately, couldn't make it this weekend, away doing double duty. He stole the championship by 2 points. We've done the maths about 15 times over, and we've worked it out. Bagsy, hot on his heels in second place, but unfortunately, he just cannot pip him to it at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, sorry, and I was busy concentrating on something else there. Yes, I know, like Ian said, yeah, Luke Barker confirmed as the UKDC Pro Champion, but we've also got Callum Payne, the Pro 2 driver here at Silverstone today. If you are watching the live stream, you will see we are just watching the end of this grip session here at Tracks at Silverstone 2021. We are in the box in the top, well, in the middle of your screen on the right hand side. That's where we are commentating from, overlooking the track here at Silverstone, and you can see the BRDC stand is rammed with people, and obviously people are now trackside waiting for the action here to start.
Yeah, they certainly are, Mark. Grandstands are packed. People are already round the fences waiting to go. It's getting windy. It's a little windy up here. Look, we're talking about tracks. We are at Tracks at Silverstone. Let's take a look at our virtual layout. So this is what our judges deem as a 100-point run. I'm going to hand you over to James Grimsey, our head judge. James, talk us through this one.
Hi, Ian. Hello, everybody. The object of today is smoothness and an evenness to your touch with the car. So we want no more than a mid-track, early, snappy transition, be coming in well over 100 miles an hour. There's a late clip here, so that's second of the red markers that we can see from our position. So we get a nice late clip, mid-track all the way through this section, starting to tighten as you go through Luffield 2. Use all the track, but be careful, there is a slight grip change as you go through there. The idea for us is we want to see balance. This is your demonstration of skill with the car.
So there we go. Thank you very much, James. And yeah, unfortunately, as you can assume, not allowed to paint the circuit here at Silverstone. It's a prestigious track, and they won't let vandals like us come along and just throw down paint anywhere. So the judges are being very lenient on their scoring. There are determined points in the driver's briefing that they picked out. It is the second red block on Brooklands that the judges are looking for the front bumper to be as close to on that double apex, and then a midline through Luffield, a nice fast initiation, and making sure they're at angle before the marshal post, right on the corner of Brooklands entry where the grandstand is. So there we go in the distance on your screens at home. If you're watching, you could see an absolutely packed weekend. 10,000 tickets sold, Mark. 2 years since we've had a car show here at Silverstone due to current restrictions and the world being the world that it's been recently. Good to see everyone back.
Yeah, and just asked our cameraman just to pan round. There we are. Look, you see those two red boxes? Those of you watching at home, the two red boxes there, it's the second red box that the drivers are expected to hit during their qualifying run, which is effectively clip 2. Clip 1 is the initiation, where they are expected to run very, very close to the black and white lines on the curbs down in front of us here at the Brooklyn Suite. The second clip is where the blue car is now, and then they are expected to do a transition and then run a mid-ride through Luffield even. During practice, the guys were absolutely smoking the place out. Smoke all the way up the driver's doors and the passenger doors as they circulate this circuit. So we've got a complete mix of vehicles that are going to be taking part out on track today. We've got Bagsy in the Monster Energy PS13 with silly numbers talked about 700, 750.
A little bit more than that. I think we're talking around 800 now.
Oh, about right, just around 800.
Around 800
you know,
at the wheels.
What's another 50
brake? A few
brake?
spare horsepower,
yeah.
Mark, between friends.
So a few spare horsepower, and then we've got Gary Mickey in the 328.
Yes, it's a 2.8 straight 6-cylinder E36 convertible. I mean, he's a brave man. The roof's off today. It's a little windy. The sun was out 20 minutes ago. The sun was out. We were absolutely blessed with a really warm weather, but now wind's picked up a little bit and the clouds are blowing in. I don't think we're expecting rain.
No, we're not expecting rain, but it is. I'm not going to lie.
It's chilly.
It's bitter.
I've got a windbreaker on.
A
good friend of mine gave me. So George Barkley, unfortunately, fell foul to to what we always say, don't do in your first practice session, and that's break the car. And George broke his car, unfortunately, in the first practice session. So he is out of competition for today. But he gave me a lovely windbreaker anyway. So I'll be happy with that for now.
So going back to the grid, Harry Archer in the MX-5 with. What,
260 horsepower.
Oh, I can smell clutch.
That was that BMW.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
BMW has just passed us by here, and all we can smell is clutch, and he's pulled off.
So we're going to have to wait for
on
recovery
the side of the track.
him.
So I suspect, unfortunately, we may have to wait for that BMW to be towed off circuit. It would appear that one of the guys doing the track sessions here at Tracks has broken down just before we're about to start our session. But hey, nevertheless.
Oh, there we go. Look, the whole world can see him in his glory. So there we go. Yeah, the whole world can see him in all his glory. Broken down at track. So not sure what he's trying to do. You can see him turning that car on and off, trying to get it going.
He's doing a Lewis Hamilton, resetting his car.
Resetting the car, ready to rock and roll.
Anyway, so we'll get that. Let's hope he's got his towing eye in the front, and Silverstone are just about to head on to track and remove that vehicle. In the meantime, we must thank our sponsors that have supported us all season long, which is ASNU Fuel Injections Driven Racing Oils. You can see Axel Hildebrand's car in the paddock area here at Silverstone. We've got Kobo Seats. We're also trading here at Silverstone. If you need seats, etc., or some safety equipment, make sure you either visit the website or you go and see them if you're here today. Funk Motorsport unable to be here this weekend, unfortunately, but for all your heat management requirements, if you need things to protect your cables, as we see the guys leaving.
Yep, leaving
paddock area.
The paddock area now, making their way out onto circuit, and me and Mark are just going to switch over as well.
We're just going to do a quick introduction to those people that are here in attendance at Tracks. So if we are repeating ourselves, we do apologise, but obviously we've got 10,000 people here at Tracks that we have to commentate to as well. So we are back with the drifting here at Tracks at Silverstone. The guys just heading out onto track. You can see them on the camera there, the support vehicles heading round, who will be looking after tyre changing duties up on the Wellington Straight. You can see we've got Jay Wilding, we've got Aidan Cruikshank, Arik Ladagnac in the Sora. We've got Oliver Baker there in the yellow and red BMW. Two Jap Speed cars, Rob Black and Paul Smith. Paul in the GT86 variety. Then we've got Stephen Knott and the BMW that we can see on track that was broken down. He's now entering the drift session. But hey, we'll see how he gets on when he enters Brooklands at 100 miles an hour. Aidan Clarence there in the S13 would appear. Oh no, we've got Joel. Now there's Marcus Clare. We have got Ryan Hughes just coming into screen. We have got Callum Payne, the Pro 2 champion this season, and then Joel Conlon. And then at the back of the grid there, that is the E36 Kings car of
Aaron Grantham. So there we go, those guys are going to make their way around the circuit, through Luffield Round, all the way round to the back end, underneath the bridge at Wellington Straight, where our start line Marshall Dow will be ready to kick those guys off into action. And of course, this is qualifying. As I mentioned earlier on, qualifying will consist of 2 solo runs for these guys, judged by our judging panel for this season and the whole year. Peden Nielsen, James Grimsey and Richard Newton, those guys alongside me at the top of the Brooklyn stand, where they've got the most optimal view of the whole circuit, plus the benefit of the live stream, so they can see the whole of the circuit. And Mark is back.
Yeah, we've got recovery truck out on track here. I think he's just making sure that there's no fluids from that BMW that we had broken down. So the guys are heading around the circuit here, the national circuit here at Silverstone, where we see the British touring cars the other week, and obviously MotoGP before that on the large international circuit. And yeah, we are honoured to be able to drift here at Silverstone for the final round of the UKDC 2021. Again, back to our sponsors, Fast R. If you are into your cars at all, you need to check out Fast R. Go out, check out their Instagram, their YouTube channel. Some incredible stuff. They've done some recent filming at their shred shed.
Yes.
With some incredible cars. Then we've got Dorenza Performance. Anything Euro and anything else, actually, the MVT intercoolers. If you've got an intercooler in a car, check out Dorenza Performance for some incredible, innovative, I can never say that word. Go on,
I'm not even going to help you. No, I'm not even going to give you a leg up there.
Innovative, that's it. Innovative.
Why do you say it like an American?
Sound like an American. Innovative. Intercoolers with multi-vane technology. That's what MVT stands for. So keep your intake temperatures cooler than a normal intercooler, and absolutely fantastically engineered product. So yeah, check out Dorenza. Garage D, anything for your Japanese cars, whether you've got an S15, anything rear-wheel drive or a GTR of any description. Drop Julian a message, hashtag in stock. We can actually see Julian's Blitz R34 is in the paddock next to Belinda's stand. If you want to go and see a seriously cool car, go and have a look at Julian's Blitz R34. And then, of course, Hell Performance for all your brake lines, hoses, etc. They are here today somewhere in the Trade Village, so make sure you go and see Steve and the guys down at Hell Performance.
Yes, so there we go. There are our sponsors, and we would like to say a huge thank you to them. I'd just like to go back to what Mark was saying about the Fast Star Live. They had the Shred Shed Live at Gravity Show just a few weeks ago. And if you're interested in that or wondered what Crusade are, who they are, what they do, they are actually down in the drift paddock right next door. You can see Bagsy's R35 GTR Liberty Walk version 3 kitted car down there. Go down, see Al, have a chat with him and the rest of the crew, find out what they're all about. They do some seriously cool road trips, so if you're into your road trips or your modified car or your supercar, you can jump along with them. Every night is a party night and every day is a real driving day on some seriously cool roads. Alvin makes sure that he plans the best routes. I've been on a few now myself, and they are absolutely awesome. So there we go. Go down there, make sure you check out Crusade, and check out another one of our good friends down on the Trade Village. Motegi Wheels and Rotiform Wheels, the guys from Wheel Pros Europe, are in the house, and they are both got stands on. You can see Ricky down there with his Civic and Jay with his Corolla. But up first is our first car of the day, our first qualifying run of the day is Carl Farrar. So here we go, Carl Farrar with the first qualifying run. Nice initiation, takes it tentative, goes very wide. Goes to go for the foot brake to pull the front end of that car in on Brooklands, just doesn't make it happen. Nice transition, looks for the midline, exactly what the judges were talking about. Nice midline, nice fluid style, full throttle, absolutely smoking out the place as Carl Farrar finishes up his first qualifying run of the day. Up next is Matt Denham. This is going to be very, very fast-paced, so we'll go through the scores at the end of the session with you. Matt Denham, big flick across the edge of the circuit, gets the wheel right on the curbing. Can he pull the front end in? He can. Look at that, Matt Denham. Foot brake absolutely locked up as Denham brings the front end of that Jap Speed S13 in. Front end close to that inside curb. Want to be a little bit further away than that as Denham hammers down the throttle, gets it done, and across the line goes Matt Denham. Next car off the line and down is Steve Bagsy Biagioni in the Monster Energy S13. Nice flick in, lets the car wash, gets on throttle nice and early. Big clutch kick as Bagsy holds it on. Look at that front bumper right over that red curbing. Late transition for Bagsy, gets it mid-track, hammers down as he unleashes 800 horsepower from that supercharged V8 to the tarmac of Silverstone. Tidy job from Bagsy as he finishes up. Up next, it will be Jay Wilding in the M&M Engineering S14. Jay-Z underneath the bonnet. Gore goes very wide. Does Jay Wilding, holds onto it though, reasserts himself, thinks about what he's doing, picks up the throttle once again after the transition, back into it as Jay Wilding starts to pick up the smoke now, looking good on the foot brake as he puts the back end of the car to the curbing and across the line. So as I said, very, very fast pace. Judges going to be taking down their scores, and we'll go through the scores after qualifying is done for you guys. Here we go. Up next, Hayden Cruikshank in this incredible livery. Toyota, look at that, absolutely dialed. stayed off the throttle, let the car wash, get the front end onto that second red curbing, gets into it midline, and over-rotates it. Has to hold it down, stop the drift. And Hayden Cruikshank will score a 0 for that, so it will be the only and first 0 of the day so far. Up next is Angle Eric Ladanek.
Yeah, just to explain, those of you that are here, or if you're watching on the live stream for the first time, these drivers are scored out of 100 points, and we will do a recap on the results once we have finished our qualifying. So Eric Ladanek in the Chaser, I believe he's backed by M&M as well, a little bit. In the end, you can see the look at the smoke coming out of that car, that Toyota Sora. Like I said, boys and girls, you can go and see these cars if you're here today down in the paddock area. Then off the line is Steve Knott in another JZ powered S15, and he goes into Brooklands and just about on point. I was watching the screen there rather than watching over the balcony. Oh, and he does a massive straighten through Luffield, which will damage his scores massively.
Yeah, big mistake there from Steve Knott. He makes his way off circuit. Up next is Oliver Baker. Look at this big flick across the circuit, carrying a lot of speed on the handbrake. This young superstar making his way through the ranks and making a name for himself in UK drifting. Holds it together. JZ powered E36 BMW gets back into it once again. Nice and wide on Luffield. Look at that rear wheel on that dotted curb. Hammer down, looking for the finish line as Oliver Baker gets that run one and done.
And off the line now is the Destroy or Die MX-5 of Tom Beek, using all of the straight to initiate into Luffield corner. Can he pull that nose in? Not quite as close to the clipping point as the judges have requested, so he'll be marked down for that. So yeah, these guys scored out of 100 points. Each judge gives them a score out of 100, then it's divided by 3 to give us your score. So Tom Van Beek there completes that run. Right, Danny Wyman in the gorgeous PS13, only about 350 brake horse, so down on power compared to some of the guys here. Hits the clip perfect, but the line wasn't good on initiation, so that, again, the judges will mark them down. That yellow dotted line, by the way, those of you who are watching at home or here, in fact, just to let you know, that's the line that was used for the MotoGP for if they get a penalty. That's the long lap penalty. So that's what the yellow line's for. Louis Edwards in the LS-powered BMW. Still think that car sounds like it's on 7 cylinders personally. It certainly doesn't sound as healthy as we've heard that before. But Louis Edwards, the youngster sponsored by Italia, a specialist in Italian cars, and have just finished building a Lancia Stratos, believe it or not. So the winner from yesterday at the BDC in the Pro 2 class, Marcus Clare, showing you what he's made of in the RB's 26 powered R32. Look at that perfect clipping point on the inside line. Can he go back to 2 different events in 2 different days? Wow, Marcus Clare absolutely smoking Silverstone. Don't forget, boys and girls, to get your hands nice and warm. Don't forget to clap in the BRDC stand or around to the track. That's what we're here for.
Certainly is, Mark. And here we go. Ryan Hughes up next in the SR20 powered S14A. And Ryan Hughes running that Dave Yandel DY Engines SR20 underneath the bonnet. Look at that, goes nice and wide. Nice transition for Ryan Hughes. Gets it together. And Ryan Hughes absolutely flying at the moment. Smoke all the way up to the wing mirrors. He smokes out Luffield and across the line. Goes Ryan Hughes. Up next is Aidan Clarence.
So Aidan Clarence, 1 JZ under the bonnet of this S13. And absolutely nails that clipping point, just a little bit shy. He said to me, I said to him in the pits, I was joking and said, you need to be faster. And he said, I'm flat out. I've got no more. So Aidan Clarence on the limit with a JZ engine underneath the bonnet of that S13. As we see Paul Smokey Smith in the Japspeed GT86, absolutely flat out from the bridge. All the way, it gets a little bit of understeer, runs a little bit wide, way off the clipping point in that Maxxis tyres. And look at the shot you're seeing at home of the GT86 round Luffield, as we see Pro 2 champion 2021, the Callum Payne off the line. This car running just a tad over 300 brake horsepower, so he's against it today and runs a perfect line on initiation. Runs wide through past that clipping point, though. That's not what the judges have asked for. And again, out towards that long loop penalty marker for the MotoGP. But Callum is here just enjoying himself with the victory of the championship under his belt.
Certainly is, Mark. Yeah, he's having a lot of fun just being here. Joel Conlon off the line up next. Finished up high enough. It isn't Harry Hudson. The graphic is wrong, unfortunately. Joel Conlon makes his way around, looking good. Absolutely. Well, from what I've been told, an almost bone stock 350Z. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. It just goes to show you what you can do in a pretty much bone stock 350Z around Silverstone Circuit. As Joel Conlon gives the clutch a few more kicks to make sure it survives through Luffield. And away he goes. So Joel Conlon finishing up his run. We go back to the start line. Is, of course, the Bad Taste MX-5 of our round 1 winner. And that is Harry Archer. Harry Archer in this little MX-5, 260 horsepower, gets it wrong, just initiates on the wrong part of the circuit, has to shut it down and reinitiate. But he won't score a 0. Judges saying they are being lenient with the scores today, and a small error isn't a prolonged amount of straightening, so he will get a score for that run, Harry Archer.
Right, so the Dilator sponsored E36 2.8 Vert, basically, convertible all the way down, travel down from Scotland to take, but a little bit early, bounced the front wheel off them curbs. Those curbs, they may look nice and flat from where you're sat, but believe me, that there is a bump. There used to be some bollards in there that with touring car drivers make sure they don't last more than 5 laps. And they don't put them down anymore. So, yeah, next up off the line, then it's Rob Black, the man from Spalding in Lincolnshire, in the Team Jap Speed S15. This car has done many. Look at this angle of Rob pulls. Oh, yes, that angle is way too much. Unfortunately, Rob will score a 0-point run. We are looking for the top 16 drivers out of the group of 24 that we've got out on track today, and we will be back on track at 2 o'clock for our top 16, where we will whittle them down to 8 drivers where they go head to head. In the meantime, then, as Rob leaves the track, we look back down and see Aaron Grantham in the E36 Kings BMW, absolutely on the limiter. But look at the smoke Aaron Grantham's creating. That is some impression from the Pro 2 driver. Look at that. What an awesome sight as they disappear off round Luffield. Yeah,
incredible run there from Aaron Grantham, really showing himself that he's moving forward in competition, and he is stepping up back to the start line. It is Cole Farrar. So Cole Farrar comes back around for his second qualifying run of the day. And Farrar just washing a little bit wide there on that front clipping point, has to drop a wheel over the edge of the circuit, gets himself back into it. Farrar, though, turns on the smoke screen like Batman and absolutely smokes out Luffield. Incredible job there from Cole Farrar. Up next, Matt Denham
in the Team Jap Speed. Look at the body lean on that as he ends. Matt makes a complete hash of it. The winner of the last round at Teesside, and the week before that he won at the Drift Pro Championship event at Donington Park. And look at the smoke from the Team Jap Speed car. Matt Denham absolutely smoking those tyres as we see off the line. It's fast and furious here today. Stephen Bagsy Biagioni with the GoPro stick sticking up out of the back of that PS13. Look at that on that clipping point in the Accelera sponsored SPS13, and there he goes in a cloud of smoke around Luffield. Don't forget to give these drivers a round of applause if you're enjoying what you're seeing. I know it's a bit fresh and a bit windy out there, but the BRDC stand is full as we see Jay Wilding.
Yeah, Jay Wilding.
Jay Wilding got a
whole host of understeer, and Jay Wilding still with the understeer, still continues to go, gets it settled, and he will make his way off circuit. That will be a 0, I can confirm, because that was way off circuit, and that was a fair amount of understeer. So there we go.
A fair amount. I've never seen anything understeer for so long as we see Hayden Cruikshank in the Toyota Cresta. Absolutely incredible car, but he's out there putting a show, and look at that. Just about right on the clipping points, comes through in the transition into Luffield here at the home of British Motorsport, Silverstone, for Tracks 2021. So the judges getting all these scores down. We will do a recap of the end of this session to let you know what the scores are for everybody, as we see Eric Ladagnac in the Toyota Chaser with Chaser. Toyota Sora even, take over.
Toyota Sora has Eric Lardneck. Eric Angle gets it wrong, gets way shallow on initiation, puts front wheels on the edge of the curb too early, so he'll be scored way down. Can confirm that Hayden did get a score in his second qualifying run. That was a complete run. And Eric there, again, he will get a score, but it will be way down compared to what the judge is looking for. Steve Knott now makes his way down, smashing through the gears in this Batman-esque S14A. Big amount of push on there from the rear wheels. You can see it pushing the front of the car across the circuit, not what the judges want to see. A word from our head judge, James Grimsey. He said, I want you to be like water, flow like water around the circuit.
That's fair enough. Yeah, just so you realise, these guys are getting so much understeer because they dial so much grip into the back of these cars to make them smoke as much as they possibly can. And sometimes it has a disadvantage and pushes them on. As we say, Oliver Baker enters in the E36, the Clean Freak sponsored car. And lots of support here today for Ollie. This young man, only 17 years of age, with the JZ underneath the bonnet of that E36 as he disappears off around Luffield Corner. Right, scores are in, and it's Tom Van Beek in the Destroyer MX-5.
Yeah, Tom Van Beek been doing a sterling job. Very fast, committed initiation. Look at that, gets on throttle. Lets it bar, gives us a slightly big clutch kick. Does pull the front end of that car into that front clipping point. Nice transition for Tom Van Beek. Gets himself back into it. Once again, goes very wide, right out to that dotted hash marking on the edge of the circuit. It's full throttle from Tom Van Beek. Very nice qualifying run there for Van Beek, the second run. So we go back to the start line looking for the hold up. And it should be Danny Wyman. So Danny Wyman now sits on the line awaiting his second qualifying run. Our start line, Marshall Dale down there doing the business as always underneath the bridge on the Wellington Straight. So as we said, this is very, very fast paced, and we're going to get through these guys as fast as we can because we do only have an allotted 40 minutes for these sessions. But after these guys have had 2 qualifying runs, we're going to let them run in tandem practice, ready for top 16 battles later on this afternoon. And we will bring a graphic up for you guys watching at home on the live stream of our qualifying scores. And our graphics man looks at me in despair and says, will we? maybe. You're pushing them to the limit this weekend and beyond.
Yeah, it's very quick fire for a competition round. We're used to a full day of action for the rest of the championship, so you can imagine cramming this pro class into these sessions is very stressful for all concerned, but we're going to make the most of it as we look down to the start line. Like I said, Dale Bradley, our start line marshal, down there with Danny Wyman in that PS13 with Louis Edwards tucked in behind, waiting to leave the line, and I've no idea at this moment in time. Right, Danny Wyman then leaves the line in the PS13. The farmer from down south in that car. Like I say, he's running about 350 in that PS13. Look at the dish on them rear wheel rims. Absolutely gorgeous car. Like I say, if you're here, please go down and check the guys out. But please, please, please don't forget, just after these sessions, the guys have to get parked up. So please be careful if you're on site here today at tracks.
There we go, Louis Edwards up next in the supercharged LS3 powered All Italia BMW E36. And as Mark said, those guys from All Italia, Italian car restoration company. I wonder if one day we'll see Louis Edwards piloting a V8 supercharged powered Italian car. There we go, nice second run there from Louis Edwards. We go back to the line. It is last night's Pro 2 event at the British Drift Championship. Marcus Clare in that incredible RB26 powered R32 Nissan Skyline, foot flat to the floor, smoke all the way up to the wing mirror. Nice transition from Clare as he gets himself back into it once again, looking like a strong contender today.
Yeah, I think he's got to be feeling confident after his victory yesterday at the BDC up at Teesside. In the meantime, coming down off the track, Ryan Hughes had a terrible time yesterday at Teesside with this car, broke a differential and all sorts of problems, nails that clipping point, transitions through, goes into Luffield. Expect to see, look at that, a clutch kick, 700 brake horsepower for him, a 2.3 SR engine, lots of left foot clicking. Awesome run there from Ryan Hughes in the DY engine car. As we see, Aidan Clarence absolutely trying his hardest to get as much as he can. I believe this is just about a stock JZ underneath the bonnet of this S13, so So probably about 286 brake horsepower to be precise.
On a good day with some wind behind it, which today he's got that. Yeah, Aidan Clarence there at JZ, but a stock JZ form does make nice power, but nothing near as close as the JZ underneath the bonnet. This GT86 of Paul Smokey Smith makes his way down, needs this run. Nicely done from Paul Smith. Stands on the accelerator, looks for a nice transition, gets on it nice and early, sets the car up, back on throttle once again. As Paul Smokey Smith destroys those Maxxis tyres and unleashes 700 horsepower to the tarmac.
And off the line is our Pro 2 champion Callum Payne in the just over 300 brake horsepower OS14, and a little re-initiation as they came down the straight there, and a little bit wide through Brooklands and into the transition into Luffield, out towards that penalty marking lap. Are you enjoying it down here in the BRDC stand? I'm going to include you guys that are here on site, not just those of you that are watching at home. Obviously we've got 10,000 people we have to entertain here as well, as Joel Conlon in the virtually stock 350Z runs in a little bit too deep, and that will be a 0-point run for Joel Conlon. Like Ian said, that car's just about a standard car, so it's around 300 brake horsepower, probably got a welded diff and a set of coilovers, and he's out here at Silverstone drifting. Not drifting at the moment because looks like he may have an issue.
He's going to crawl that
I wonder
car.
why. I wonder if that was the problem. So it looks like we have a problem with Joel's car, so he will be, it looks like he is going to require Silverstone to pop out and quickly get him off track so we can continue with this session. So hopefully we can get Joel's car off the track fairly quickly.
So there we go. Mark is just going to have a word with our start line marshals and our track guys to make sure that we can get him removed off track. There we go. He gets it fired back up and off the circuit he goes. And Joel Conlon having a small issue with that car, but nevertheless gets it done and gets it off the circuit. We go back to the start line to Harry Archer. So there we go. Joel Conlon gets it done and takes himself off the circuit. We go back to the start line, as we say. Harry Archer should now sit on the line in the little Mazda MX-5, 260 horsepower, the winner of round one at Three Sisters Race Circuit at the beginning of the year. Harry Archer, been a fairly consistent driver so far and managed to get himself through the ranks, up into the Pro 2 top end of the competition, and now finds himself back on circuit here in the Pro Class and looking for a spot in the Pro Class Championship next year. So Harry Archer makes his way around, looking good. Nice transition, nice line. Just brings the front end of that MX-5 a little bit too close to the curve for what the judges are liking, but he does have a score on the board, and at the moment every single driver does have a qualifying score. As we see Gary Mickey now leave the start line, the Scottishman making his way down 328 E36 convertible. And Gary Mickey deciding to take the roof off today. Gets a little wash of understeer there as he come off the throttle on the apex of Brooklands, gets himself into it again, looks for the back end on that dotted line. That seems to be the perfect line for these guys to allow enough room for the chase car on the inside later on this afternoon. So just two more cars to go. Rob Black now up next in the Jap Speed S15, and Rob Black thinks about what he's doing this time, gets the car dialed nicely on that apex. Nice transition as Rob Black settles his nerves, gets himself into it, pulls his socks up, and proves he is a worthy driver of that car. And across the line goes Rob Black. And the final qualifying run of the day is Aaron Grantham in the E36 Kings. E36 BMW Turbo M50 underneath the bonnet, I do believe, as Aaron Grantham puts foot to floor. Nice transition for Grantham as he gets himself on a nice line through Luffield. Look at that smoke all the way up to the front wheel as Aaron Grantham absolutely smokes the place out. And that, Mark, is qualifying done. I
would love to see the smile on Aaron's face in that car, because yeah. I know he said he was going to go full send when he came here to Silverstone. So it will be ear to ear. So, ladies and gentlemen, for you in attendance here at Silverstone, if you guys watching at home, you can now see our guys. They are going to be queuing up. We're going to send these in. Oh, yeah, don't be walking away from the grand side of the track yet, boys and girls. We haven't finished the session. That was just qualifying, single runs. We're now going to start sending them in pairs for practice for the battles this afternoon that will start at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, so there we go. As Mark says, 2 o'clock, we kick off top 16 action here live at Tracks at Silverstone. And for now, we're going to give these guys the last 15 minutes of the session for twin battle practice. And you can expect to see these guys door on door. Some guys will take the opportunity to do a solo run, though, to perfect that lead line, Mark.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, these guys will be expected to run the line that they've been asked to do in qualifying during the lead position of their battles. So that's why these guys, some of them will be happy to twin and some of them will want to run it in single runs, as we see Jay Wilding and Arik, which are effectively teammates, both backed by M&M Engineering down in Kent. Mike Marshall, who we will see at the Drift Matsuri at the end of October with a fresh car, but we'll worry about that. And don't forget, you can get some Drift Matsuri merch down with Belinda. In the meantime then, Ollie Baker in the E36 and Steve Knott in the S body behind, so both JZ powers. I know Steve's car running a lot more power than Ollie's. Ollie's basically running a stock JZ underneath the bonnet of that E36 as they both smoke their way round Luffield and off the line this time. Then that looks to me like it's Danny Wyman and in Clarence. So Danny Wyman in the PS. Oh no, it's Marcus Clare in the R32. I do apologise, I couldn't see for the glare off the sunshine here at Silverstone for Tracks as Marcus makes an uncharacteristic mistake going towards the transition, and hopefully that's not a mechanical problem. No, Marcus keeps rotating around the circuit as Paul Smokey Smith is coming down the track with Ryan Hughes in hot pursuit in the SR powered S body.
So, Mark, while you've been talking our guys through exactly who's on track and what's been going on, I've been handed a bit of paper for the moment to tease you guys into what our top 3 qualifiers are. And I can confirm, taking 3rd place in qualifying goes to Steve Bagsy Biagioni in the Monster Energy at PS13. Its 2nd place goes to Ryan Hughes in the Garage 500 DY Engines S14A. But taking 1st place in qualifying goes to Marcus Clare in the R32 Nissan Skyline Garage 500. Teammates,
so Garage 500, first
lock out
and
the top.
second.
Garage 500, lock out the top, 1st and 2nd place in qualifying. Incredible job. So Marcus Clare, at the moment, as we said, on an absolute storm.
Yeah, I mean, he won at BDC yesterday in the Pro 2 class, and here today at Silverstone at the fastest drift competition track in the UK, and he tops qualifying. Wow, what an awesome job from Marcus. And it also means that the two teammates mathematically, theoretically, could meet in the finals because they'll be on opposite sides of the bracket, so they could actually be. And I've just spotted that up in the tower we have Mr. Garage D himself, Mr. Julian Smith. Like I say, if you're here at Tracks, make sure you go and see the Blitz R34 that's in the paddock area.
So there we go, Joe Conlon just putting a solo run down, just making sure that car working 110% before he heads back into the paddock. Yeah, and Judge is saying if he would have done that in qualifying, then he might have qualified higher or even qualified. So there we go. Do believe that is going to be the session called from Silverstone. We're just waiting to get the all clear if we've got a few more minutes left to go, or if that is it, done and dusted for this session.
The pickup truck is still parked behind the drift car, so
So there we go, Mark's just going to find out exactly what is going on from Silverstone, trying to work out if we've got a few more minutes left of this session or if that is it. And it looks like we do have a few more moments left of this session. We do have Cole Farrar and Hayden Cruikshank coming down for a twin battle. A little bit of twin battle practice. So as Mark said, 2 o'clock we will be live back here at Tracks for top 16. And the nerds, the computer geeks, have told me that we won't have the graphic ready just yet because they're frantically putting the scores into the system with our quick fire qualifying session. They said that when we come back live at 2 o'clock, we'll be able to put that on the screen and you can see exactly who qualified where and the battle tree for this afternoon. But as I said, Bagsy qualified 3rd, Ryan Hughes in 2nd, and Marcus Clare takes 3rd place.
yeah, so these guys making use of every single minute. Like I said, we normally do 2 qualifying runs, and if we had time we would have done 3 here, with it being a special occasion with the UKDC at Silverstone. In the meantime, Danny Wyman in the PS13, Steve Knott in the S15, just getting it all a little bit squirrely, but Danny Wyman absolutely nailing that PS13. Don't forget, you can go and meet these drivers if you are here at Silverstone, and you can have a look at their cars, etc. But please, while the guys are heading back into the paddock area, if you please let these cars get parked up before you go into the paddock area, please, because it's very, very busy here today at Silverstone for Tracks 2021, as we see a pair of E36 BMWs with a 328, I believe, in Aaron's car, and the JZ engine underneath that of Oliver Baker. And these guys absolutely loving it here. Oh, and look at this. We've got Bagsy against Paul Smith, former teammates. So Bagsy leads in Paul Smith down here, down the Williams straight. Look at the speed they're both carrying. Can Paul Smith on? Paul Smith
unable. Can't hold on to it. Yeah, Paul Smith.
Just can't keep hold of it. The grip on them tyres must
tyres. Just
something
too
else.
much. Just too much, unfortunately, yeah. And Paul Smokey Smith just not being able to hang on to the pace and grip from Bagsy. Bagsy pulling away there from Paul Smokey Smith. Up next, it will be your 2021 Pro 2 champion, Callum Payne, leading in your top qualifier of today and the final round of the UK Drift Championship 2021, Marcus Clare. So Callum Payne, aka Drift Jesus, in the blue S14. Very, very nice line, very fluid transitions, looking very strong for the competition later on.
Yeah, and if you are out there and you've got your telephones on you, don't forget to tag UK Drift Championship, and we'll give you some of these drivers' Instagrams as well. Aidan is Aidan_13. Check out Harry Archer, you'll see his profile picture with his MX-5 in it, I believe. They've all got these social media, and don't forget to check out our Facebook and Instagram pages, the UK Drift Championship, and we are streaming this live. So later on this afternoon, if we end up showing replays, you can make sure you're on your phone on Facebook. We will be streaming this live across the world on Facebook as we see Joel Conlon with Gary Mickey. Wow, look at Gary, absolutely in the door card of Joel Conlon here at Silverstone. Bearing in mind the speed that these guys are travelling, it's very, very skillful to be able to do this, and we hope you are enjoying it if you are here at Tracks, or if you are at home, we hope you are enjoying the live stream. In the meantime then, on the line we've got what looked like Dale Bradley was trying to send a train. Now Dale is, yes, we're not just going to get two cars, we're going to get a few cars. Yes, we have Aidan Cruikshank, Carl Farrar and Rob Black all running at once. This will be the only opportunity we've got to run any kind of trains here at Silverstone today, and we might as well make the most of it as Rob Black there behind the G2E Motorsports sponsored JZX 100 of Carl Farrar, with Rob Black in the Team Jap Speed S15 on his door.
Yep, so we are just going to have a little bit of fun. Last couple of minutes of the session. Matt Denham now leads out Danny Wyman, and Matt Denham opting for that lead position once again. So Matt Denham taking all of the opportunity to get as many of those lead runs in as possible, as Matt Denham absolutely throws a smoke screen up in the face of Danny Wyman in that incredible blue and purple PS13.
So yes, as you can see, Silverstone pulled the pickup truck in front of the guys on the start line, so that will be the end of this session. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're in attendance here today, don't forget these guys will be leaving the circuit now, so just hang around for a couple of minutes and give them a round of applause as they leave the circuit and give you a wave, and we hope you've enjoyed it. Those at home, hope you've enjoyed it as well. So thank you for tuning in. So we must not forget to thank our sponsors for the season this year. Hell Performance, Garage D. Like I said, Julian's car is in the paddock area next to Belinda's stand where you can grab some merch. Dorenza Performance, Funk Motorsport, Kobo Seats for all your seats and harnesses, Driven Racing Oils for all your fluids for your vehicles as AS&U injectors, and not forgetting, of course, the wonderful Fast R. If you've got anything, if you love your motorsport, if you love cars, you must check out their channels. They do some incredible stuff. They've recently had an A86 down at their shred shed, a turbo-powered, well, it was basically it's a Japanese 86 doing some skids, basically. But
you got lost then for a moment.
I got lost, yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, but yeah, their media channel, the amount of content they produce on their Instagram, Facebook, website, absolutely out of this world. So please make sure you go and check out Fastar. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. So thank you to them for supporting us this year.
Of course, and going back to the Shred Shed, as Mark said, go check out the guys from Crusade at the back end of the drift paddock. The host down there, Alvin from Crusade is down there. The host of Shred Shed and Shred Shed Live is down there, talking to all you guys and selling some merchandise. So that is it. That rounds out qualifying here at round 5 of the 2021 UK Drift Championship. Don't forget, we will be back at 2 o'clock with Top 16 Live, where we'll be bringing you all of the qualifying orders and our battle trees from me and Mark in the tower from here live at Tracks at Silverstone. We will see you soon.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
More horsepower, less wear, better performance. Introducing new GP1 high-performance driven racing oil, developed specifically for competition, classic, and import vehicle applications.